everyone. How are you?
Good morning.
Good. Why am I only seeing your face, Logan? I need to change this.
Change it to your gallery view. Top right.
There we go. Perfect. Okay. So we're here to learn about LinkedIn. So did you guys have like anything specific that you wanted to talk about before I kind of get started on some of the things that I was going to go over with you guys? No one jump at once.
I think the whole thing is in terms of I'm doing my profile, which I need to do, but
Okay.
I've always learned that it was really in terms of corporate type use of it for business, not business to business, but more at the corporate type level. The question is, use what we have in there to use it to generate business in real estate, which is much more of a consumer approach than just a business looking for a corporate client type thing.
Absolutely. So actually, I kind of ran some statistics to just kind of see how LinkedIn's been going. So ironically, since the COVID-19, there have been 35 million additional users added to LinkedIn because everybody's now starting to realize that LinkedIn is not just a corporate, way to do business. It's kind of like the Instagram and the Facebook of the business world, and you guys are all in business, so it's the best place to start growing your businesses. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I see we have a few more people popping on, so why don't we give it another second, and then I'll kind of go over that again.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's popping in right now, so just
we'll give it another second.
I was like, maybe give it another minute just to be safe.
So while we're waiting just a couple more minutes, the people that just got on, was there anything specific you were looking for to learn before I kind of go through some of the best ways to utilize LinkedIn for your businesses? Okay, you're going to just hear me talk.
You're the expert, Michelle.
I don't know about expert. I just got a few skills.
Go ahead and get started.
I think we're good to go, you guys. All right. So anyways, as I was saying, since COVID-19 started, LinkedIn has actually grown by 35 million viewers. So you think about it right now, we're at the end of August. So in a matter of maybe an 8-month period, 35 million people, because everyone's lives have changed, have realized what a great tool LinkedIn is to look for jobs, source, new ways of doing business. We've all learned how to use Zoom for business. There's other ways out there to utilize LinkedIn, to help your businesses. So it has always been known as the professional site, but like I said before, being professionals and doing what you're doing, this is a site that you should be utilizing. And I know a lot of you guys use Instagram and Facebook for your businesses, but LinkedIn truly is a great place for you to source different types of clients. One of the nice things about LinkedIn, because it is always been more of a corporate site, is the quality people that you're connecting with on LinkedIn may be better than the types of people you were connecting with on like Facebook and Instagram, because they're already in that world of, most of them are CEOs, CFOs, etc. And the people that you are connecting with are already of that caliber. So your level of clientele or connections are going to be even, higher based on that. So some of the cool things that I've learned in my past, and a lot of this came from my banking background, that I was more used to using LinkedIn versus, the other social media platforms that we're using now. LinkedIn is a great way to put yourself out there and to show people that you are an expert in your field. So once you have a profile set, and if anybody needs help with a profile, I'll gladly do a one-on-one with you guys, just to kind of get an idea of how it should look, how to keep it professional, and how to explain who you are and why you're in business. But one of the best things to do with LinkedIn before you get carried away is, same thing with Facebook, link in with everybody that you know, right? So if you know people that are out there, connect with them, make sure that they have your connections. They're saying the average person should have no less than 500 connections on LinkedIn. I believe right now I'm at about 687 on my LinkedIn. And I actually get referrals now that I've switched to this type of industry from banking, which I've been able to bring back to the office because people look at that. If you're connected with people and you're posting content, they pay attention. Currently on my LinkedIn page, I'm taking a lot of the content straight from Keller Williams International. So a lot of things with Gary and what the company's doing and like our quarterly information. And I'm putting that on my LinkedIn. When I was the team leader, I was putting information out about how great KW is and what a great place it is to grow your business. So as real estate agents, what do you think you could be putting on your pages that makes it more advantageous for you to advertise yourselves? Anyone?
Make sure you unmute yourself if you're trying to talk. Sorry.
Go on, Karen, are you trying to
You're
talk?
muted. Hold on, Karen.
Oh, no, I did the video. Oh, yeah,
There you
we
go.
There
I
you
got
are.
I was talking to a friend of mine was higher up at Progressive many years in the HR department. And when she said to me, you need to be reaching out to a lot of these smaller businesses that aren't working with national relocation companies because they can't pay the fees. But if they have one or two really good people they want, they're going to be looking for a really good real estate agent that they can count on. As I tell business owners, I said, I guarantee you that your real estate agent is going to spend more time with their recruit than anyone in your company. And the experience that they have there, especially with the trailing spouse who may not want to relocate his or her life, is going to be looking to that real estate agent to give them a good reason why it's more than just a job, it's a lifestyle. So that's why I'm on this call, because I have not done a good enough job of linking into all these people I know who own smaller companies that may bring in one new person a year to Cleveland. That would be a great person for my business.
Absolutely. So let's start talking about connections and how you make those connections. So once you establish your LinkedIn page, if you haven't already, and you've added all your friends and family members that are on LinkedIn and utilize LinkedIn, where do you go from there and how do you grow your actual LinkedIn? So one of the number one tools that I found out it being in the professional world was to go on like all your first connections and all your second connections and see who they're connected to. So you want to look at the types of people that can help you grow in your business, right? So if you have a first connection that is in HR at the Cleveland Clinic, wouldn't that be somebody you want to reach out to connect with since they're doing a lot of relo, right? Just like Karen was just talking about. So the more people you connect with that are in fields that can help you grow, there's people that are investors. You really have to like look and see what people put down for their actual careers to see what they're going to do to benefit you. And it doesn't matter whether they're going to benefit you or not by being a relocation or anything else. Any new connection is a new connection. The cool thing about LinkedIn is once you connect with somebody, you then connect with every single person in their list, because you can then look through everybody that they have in their list, and you can keep track of those people and see who else you want to connect with. So when you're connecting with people, I'm going to tell you the number one thing that you do not want to do is just start clicking on people's names and trying to connect. While that tends to happen on Facebook, that is not how you do it on LinkedIn. LinkedIn does have a different type of professional persona. So when you're connecting with people, my advice is send an email to them. Say, hey, Mrs. Smith, I see that you're friends with so-and-so. I've known so-and-so for X amount of time. Obviously, you guys have a great relationship, and I really think that we would be a good professional connection. Would love a chance to maybe get a cup of coffee and get to know each other. So send them that email instead of just that connect saying, hey, I'm just clicking on people to, grow my LinkedIn line. Then hopefully they respond and you get a chance to meet with somebody new. You never know who's going to be a great connection. So really look through, I would definitely go through your first tiers first and then start into your second tiers and really see who's in, their connections and how they're going to be beneficial to your business. Does that make sense, or does anybody have any questions about that? You guys are all muted, so if anybody, raise your hand if you have a question so we can know to unmute you. Okay, all right. So that's the first part of it. So creating your profile if you have not, making sure that people know what you do. So how do people know what you do? What kind of content do you think you should put on LinkedIn? I'm gonna start calling on you guys, and you know I will.
Do you think you should post maybe some relevant real estate
First, I
articles?
can change. Yeah.
Janice, I'm
First,
sorry.
people know I'm in real estate. How about
Exactly. They need to know you're in real estate. So when you're on your Instagram and your Facebook, right, the majority of the things that are being posted are, I have this for sale, or I've just sold this, or my team sold X amount, right? LinkedIn, you need to share details. You need to give people facts. LinkedIn is about facts. These are professionals that want to see, I am an expert. This is why I'm an expert, and this is how I can help you. So you're going to want to post things that are valid to your industry. So what's going on in the market statistics, how house buying is right now, when's the best time to buy or sell, what are interest rates looking like? You need to be the market expert. And now, while it's fantastic to go ahead and put things on your LinkedIn page, like I've sold, these amount of houses, when your page is nothing but that, that's not telling anybody that you're an expert. I mean, obviously it's telling people that you're really good at what you do because you're posting that a lot, but people on LinkedIn want information. They want to know what's going on with the company that you work with. They want to know about how your business is. They want to know that you're an entrepreneur. They also want to know that you volunteer. They also want to know that, you have a family. So LinkedIn isn't as personal as some of the other pages, like maybe, our Facebook and Instagram. So put a little personality into it, a little bit of personal information. There's nothing wrong with that. But for the most part, you're going to want to keep that very, very business driven. It is a fantastic means, though, for driving your business. And you're going to be surprised at the amount of people that you don't realize that you may have connections with on other social media pages that you've never even connected with on your LinkedIn page. So how many of you are actually using LinkedIn right now on a regular basis in your businesses? Besides Logan, we know that. She's managing ours for us. Julie does, that's for sure. I know that. Donna and David, I know, use it. Anybody else? Keisha does a fantastic job with that as well. Kathleen says nope. So Kathleen, what are we going to do differently to get you utilizing LinkedIn? You can unmute yourself. I see there's 2 in the chat. Did I miss something, Logan?
Let me see. It just said, so Donna Toad said, yes, we do. And Kathleen just said, nope.
Okay, perfect. So, and I believe your Paul team does, right, Mindy? Yeah, you guys use it quite a bit as well. But like I said, the facts that you put out there, that's the stuff that people really want to, that's what's going to connect you. That's going to make you an expert. So say you've connected with an HR person at a major corporation in Northeast Ohio that just happens to need to start a reload program. Why are they going to be driven to you? Is it because you sold a couple of houses? Or is it because you're an expert in all the markets in Northeast Ohio? You know statistically what's going on. There's just so many things that you can share that are going to be so beneficial to your clients. Does anyone have any questions so far? You guys are all on here. You have to have some questions about why you're on here. There's no way in 13 minutes I've just nailed it for you.
I don't think I had questions. I just haven't thought of it as a source, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I have LinkedIn. I used it when I was in corporate.
Mm-hmm.
I've never used it for, they don't even know I'm a realtor. I haven't even changed it. I haven't even been on there.
Yeah. So that's the thing that a lot of people don't do. In fact, ironically, I threw another real estate agent under the bus that is not with our company because it said that he was with one company for the last 6 years, and to congratulate him, however, he's been with another company for 2 years. LinkedIn is something you need to manage. I mean, it's something you should be looking at on a regular basis and updating. I know Marilyn put a comment out there, where do you get the content? Some of the stuff, make sure that you're connected with Keller Williams Real Estate. When you go onto LinkedIn, you can actually click on so many. Kathleen said, I can't. Okay. We'll look at that in a second. if you actually have Keller Williams as one of your connections, there's posts on there all the time about everything. There's groups you can get in there that are real estate related that post things. So it's not just those connections, it's actual companies. There's companies that offer content that you can get on. There's just so many different things that you can do. I see we have a ton of different things coming in right now. Let's answer
I
some.
got you. Yeah. So yeah, Kathleen says she can't unmute herself, but how much should I be posting?
So, I mean, right now, if you're not posting anything, obviously something is better than nothing. I would say you should be touching your LinkedIn page no less than 6 times a month. I mean, you could feasibly do at least 2 times a week. But you definitely, that's the only way people are going to see you and know you're there is if they're constantly seeing you showing up in their feed. Same thing with your other social media sites, but make sure what you're sharing is valuable information.
And then Donna Toth asked, where do you go to get the KW info to post, and does it help to pay for the premiere?
So I would definitely say it does help to pay for the premiere. However, at the end of the conversation, I'm also going to talk to you guys about a company that I interviewed last week that is a LinkedIn specialist, and they can actually manage your LinkedIn for you. So we'll talk about in that in a little bit. The nice thing with paying for the premiere part of LinkedIn is the fact that you can create groups so that you can send content to specific groups. So say you have, a bunch of buyers, you have a bunch of people that you're trying to connect with, you can actually create groups of people that you're connecting with on LinkedIn instead of posting it to your entire page, so that it's keeping it more personal to those people that you're maybe, trying to solicit for specific matters.
And then Marilyn asked, do you just repost?
So the stuff that I put out right now, just from KW, I just post and say, so glad I work for such an amazing company, blessed to be at KW. That's the stuff that I put out. You guys should probably be creating content and putting those out on your own versus just repost. However, if it's KW, absolutely repost it and say, a couple months ago when they advertised we were the #1 company to work for women, of course, repost that. Hashtag best place to work for women, hashtag best company, hashtag so glad I'm here. That's the kind of stuff that really says that you feel great about the company that you're with, but mix it up, share some content. There's nothing wrong with sharing content. There's nothing wrong with sharing things from other people's pages, but you want to create your own content as well and make it yours. So it's not that you're just reposting other people's stuff consistently. You want to show that you're putting that information out, and that is what gives you the credibility to be that leader in your market. Was there any more? Okay. Oh.
Sorry.
That's just me. So because we have a business page, we actually have 3 specific hashtags to our specific business page. So I just sent them all out to you guys. So that way you have those and know, hey, I have to at least put one of these. So that way it shows up on our business page as well.
Yep, absolutely. And have you guys been has anybody even looked at our business page?
Yeah.
So that's something you guys want to do. Logan does a really good job of making sure that all of our social media is locked in for everything. So you might just want to see some of the content that she's put out there. Some of it's fun stuff too. Like when it's National Donut Day, it doesn't mean you can't put it on LinkedIn because it's a little more professional, but don't make that your regular thing. Make sure, like I said, facts are what people want to see. They want to see that you are a business person. You're out there to do business. Does anybody want to talk about how to make connections any further? Did everybody kind of get a general idea of the best way to make connections?
I was just going to add about content.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get emails, articles from NAR, Realtor.com, OAR. They all send, I get emails all the time. So if there's an article that I like or I think someone else might like, I post it.
Yep. Also, Inman's a good one. So if you're registered with Inman, I mean, plus Gary's on Inman all the time anyways. There's just, thank you, Julie. That was fantastic. So like whether it's your boards or the state, any of those things you can get, you know, information on a regular basis. I know Mindy is really solid with pulling Trend Graphics information. So you can always just pull market information from Trend Graphics and post it and just be like, hey, we're the #1 in, you know, this area or whatever the case may be. So you need to make it what you want. You need to make it as comfortable for you. You know, I had a calendar set up in my previous career, and I specifically knew when I was posting specific content. So like say Monday, it was like facts about what was going on with the Federal Reserve, and Thursdays was, you know, something a little bit more fun. So I kept a calendar for myself as to where I posted things and how I posted them on LinkedIn so that I never dropped the ball. And usually I would try and find content as soon as I posted something, I would try and find content for my next one. So I was always prepared to do that. Or say something changed with your business, you want to have some things like in your back pocket that you can just instantly throw out there and be like, whoa, did you see what happened? The Fed dropped by X amount of points. Or, hey, did you see, you know, now the turnaround time for selling a house is 36.2 hours. Whatever the case may be, the more content you have and the more information you have in your toolbox, or the more tools in your toolbox, the more successful you guys are going to be on LinkedIn for sure.
I would also recommend reading, I get feeds from the business journals, Forbes, Inc., Entrepreneur. They're really great because they talk about lifestyle, especially with younger people in the workforce. It's lifestyle, not just the location. So I think there's really good information to for all the business owners out there to really educate them that it's not just the pay anymore. It's about the lifestyle and how you can be, as the real estate agent, that you're helping to educate the people you work with about what Cleveland and Northeast Ohio brings to the job experience, not just the pay. And I think a lot of people just don't realize that. And I think we can educate in a higher business level also.
Absolutely. It does take you to the next level. You know, Cleveland.com always has really great articles about what's going on in the area. USA Today is always talking about things that have to do with our markets. So just kind of think about things that are going to be beneficial, where you can get that content from. I mean, you guys are have to be the kings and queens of Google, right? So you should be able to pull up a billion facts in one day, or graphs or posts or whatever you want to utilize. But a lot of our news sources are going to be some of your best tokens to use for advertising and marketing yourselves on social media, especially LinkedIn. But the nice thing is, you can put all of this content on your Instagram and Facebook pages as well. Switch it up a little bit, kind of throw some of that content out there, because that's also going to tell the people that, you know, maybe you're being very specific and your content is staying the same on those pages. Throw it out there every once in a while and be like, boom, look at what's going on in the market. Boom, what's going on with this? You know, people like to see that change, because sometimes, I mean, I'll be honest, if I'm looking at somebody's page that posts the same thing all the time, I'm like, scroll, scroll, scroll. But when you see something that you've never seen before, it gives you an opportunity to go, oh, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? I do know, and if you guys maybe check out some of the pages that we have in the Market Center, I know specifically, like I said, Your Paul team, the Toth team, Keisha Wagner, they all do a really good job on their LinkedIn pages. Mindy manages Your Paul team, and they do a lot of mixtures of stuff, whether some of it's fun and social kind of information, some of it's professional information, some of it's what's going on with their houses that they have on the market or they've recently sold. So just kind of take a look at that, but then look at the other people that you're connected with and see how they use LinkedIn. Because most professionals are going to kind of have a guide to kind of show you like, hey, this is what's going on in my world. And it gives you a better idea of how you can share your world with the world, if that makes sense. Does anybody have any other comments, questions? So how many people are going to start a LinkedIn page? Okay, Karen? That's it. Come on now.
I'm going to modify mine.
Okay, yeah. Either tweak, update, modify. Janice is officially going to work for Keller Williams Greater Cleveland Southeast now after a year and a half.
They're going to be like, wow, you changed jobs.
Yeah, they're all going to be like, congratulations. You're going to be like, yeah, well.
Marilyn says she's going to modify hers.
Fantastic. That's awesome. And honestly, like, it's not as easy to do on a Zoom call when we're all doing here because everyone has, you know, their own ways of wanting to do things as well. If anybody wants me to spend one-on-one time with them, helping them with their LinkedIn, I do not mind putting some time to the side with you to help out with any of that. Just let me know, or reach out to the people that are already professionals on LinkedIn too. There's nothing wrong with sending a connection, a message and saying, hey, how did you decide what kind of content you wanted to put on there? I always asked my peers in the market. Michelle's saying, I've had a page for, I can't read the.
I got you.
Oh, you go.
I've had a page for a very long time, but I really didn't know how to use it.
See, that's the nice thing. Now we're all getting to the point where social media is going to be our bomb, right? So between all the training that you guys have gotten from Kate so far, and now we're working on LinkedIn, by 2021, our market center and all of you are just going to be blowing up your businesses on social media because we know, hey, at the end of the day, this is how you do business, especially with the environment we're in right now. We can't go to networking events like we used to and shake hands and exchange business cards and talk business. So this is how we have to do it. But I do highly encourage you when you start making those connections, make them personal. Don't just do the click and add, unless it's somebody that you know. Clearly, if it's somebody that you know, they're going to be like, hey, yeah, it's Janice, or hey, yeah, it's Shannon, you know. But if you're starting to really go through your friends' pages and seeing who might be advantageous for you to connect with, make sure you send that personal email. And like I said, I always made sure I said, you know, I would love to connect with you. Maybe we can get together for a cup of coffee and, you know, just kind of chat and see how we can help each other in businesses. You know, LinkedIn is one of the places where it's not, you're not out there to say, all I sell. You want to be reciprocative of what you're doing, right? So people on LinkedIn want to connect because you can scratch their back and they can scratch your back. So when you're having those conversations, you need to discuss how you're going to be able to help each other, right? So say, Janice, you connect with somebody that you used to work with at AT&T. How can you help them right now, right? I can help your family and friends by, you know, finding you the home of your dreams or selling your house, or, you know, if there's people still working there that, you know, need assistance because they're being relocated or whatever the case may be. That's what you can do for them. But what can you do in the down, you know, for them? So say they're still at AT&T. What can you do to help them, or what can they do to help you? They're going to give you business. You're going to give them business, but you're also going to give them advice. All right. So just make sure what you're doing is a two-way street and you're not just going out there going, I sell, because that is one of the biggest turnoffs on this social media platform. They really want to make sure that like who you're connecting with are people that you would network with, you'd have coffee with, you'd have conversation with, that there's something in it for them too.
Michelle, what's the difference between the paid version and the free version?
So the free version is very basic, not that you can't do a lot on it. The paid version actually just changed quite a bit. So when you pay for LinkedIn now, you just get different abilities such as, like I said, creating the groups. They do send you more content. You can get some statistical information from LinkedIn now. Sorry, there's like people walking through the doors and it's freaked me out a little bit. So there's a lot of really good information that you can get doing the paid version. One of the things that I was going to talk to you guys about is, as well as, so this company that I started talking to is called mylinkedsolution.com. I actually have, if anybody's interested, shoot me an email. They sent me basically a PowerPoint of how they do business. They will actually manage your page for you. They've got it to the point where they will find clients for you based on their net worth, based on their locations. It's really, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's not exactly the least expensive, but they'll put all your content out there for you. They'll connect everybody for you. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with some paid things as well. You just doing your own paid version just gives you more connection abilities. It also gives you the opportunity to look more in depth at some of the people you're connected with, because some of them, Mindy, it is called mylinkedsolution.com, mylinkedsolution.com. I actually have a specific content there, or contact, sorry. So if you guys are interested, let me know and I will send you his information. I actually had a really great Zoom call with him, and he provided me some really good information, if we were to do something like that for the Market Center as well. So the paid program, I'll be honest, I've never used it before. I know people that use it all the time. I just was always good with putting my own content out, and I always made really great connections. I was also a very heavy networker. I belonged to 12 different networking groups at all times, from B&I groups to free networking groups to social groups. So a lot of my platform grew from that and from the previous companies that I worked with. Since I worked at a couple different financial institutions, obviously I made connections in those realms. I also connected to my customers, think about that too. When you're done doing business with somebody, if they're not on, your Facebook, if they're on your LinkedIn and they're seeing you're still doing business and their friend or family member wants to sell their house or buy a house, they're seeing you again, they're seeing your face. And even though I know you guys call your customers regularly and stay in touch, it's just another way to stay in touch with people because they're seeing you more regularly. Any other questions for anyone? Did everybody find this informational?
I'm on their website and it lists Keller Williams as a client of theirs and the lab coat agents.
Yeah,
Is
lab
that
coat.
correct?
So actually, the gentleman that started My Linked Solutions is a huge team originator out of California, and he is one of the people who started Lab Coat Agents as well.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
the
gonna plug him for
challenges with going to some of these companies and don't know the market niche of residential real estate, that's always a education learning curve.
So the nice thing with this company
I say
too is,
no, it's
yeah, and they also know command. So one of my first questions to him when he told me that once they get all your connections, they can upload them into files and put them into command for you. So as you get all these new connections when you're growing with them, if you were to, work with that company, they can actually create CSV files on a regular basis that have all of how you connected, when you connected, all of that information, and it can upload directly to your command. So the nice thing is this company is well versed on our command system as well, because they are generated from a KW background. Anybody else? All right, well, I know our time's up. I hope everybody got great information. Like I said, sometimes it's a little easier to sit down one-on-one when we can kind of play around and I can show you some things. So if you want to have a little bit of a side session and I can help you get your page going and give you some additional tips, send me an email. I'll put some time aside for you and we'll go from there. So thanks for coming. Glad you guys all were informed and got some good information. And it was nice hanging out with you, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.